wake me up when I'll see you again. I'll get up in August in the heat of the summer day.
Alright, so that was a track from Jamison Troy off his first release, which was called Searching for the Quiet, and it's got a really great picture of Jamison standing on the balcony of one of those Vancouver special houses. So Jamison paying homage to his new city. He is from Regina, and we had him in the studio yesterday. So let's play that interview for you right now. Special guest live in the studio, Jamison Troy. Hello, Jamison.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in. You are, well, I was about to say all the way from Regina. That's kind of true, but you've been living here, you're based here, you live and work here. Yeah. But you're a prairie boy.
Yeah, I grew up in Regina, went to high school, elementary high school there, and then I moved out a few different places, but started working my way west, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago, and I've been in Vancouver for about 4 years this summer.
Oh, so when you say working your way out west, did you based yourself in a few different towns along the way?
Yeah, well, I went to college in the States for a year, and then came back to Regina, went to university there for a year or so, and then moved to Alberta with some friends, and then on a tour once I met a band from Vancouver, well, Kelowna, that I became friends with, and then joined their band about a year later and moved out to Vancouver.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a musical odyssey, and you've had a few of those, actually. We'll get to that a bit later on. But let's get into a song straight away, so we'll talk a bit more about those after that. This is Jamison Troy live in the studio.
I don't know where I'm headed tonight, and I wonder where you'll be. And everyone's looking to one another, and no one notices me. Catch another train back to the west coast. Well, this time I'm coming home. Catch another train back to the west coast, and this time coming home. Wade through rivers and drink them dry. Pour me another, I don't know why. You should know that I'm on my way, but I'm a weary traveler with no money to my name. In empty rooms I'll never see again, playing songs from the stage. The drunk in the corner heckles me and my friends. Him and I'll run the same. Get another train back to the west coast. This time I'm coming home. Catch another train back to the west coast, and this time I'm staying home. Wade through rivers and drink them dry. Pour me another, I don't know why. You should know that I'm on my way, but I'm a weary traveler with no money to my name. Wade through rivers and drink them dry. Pour me another, I don't know why. You should know that I'm on my way, but I'm a weary traveler with no money to my name. With no money to my name. With no money to my name.
I'm Peter Mansbridge, and you're listening to CiTR 101.9 FM in Vancouver.
Wonderful. Brand new tune there from Jamison Troy live in the CiTR studios. Definitely autobiographical, I can tell, but what can you tell me about that? Because it was a bit of an adventure that you had and some moments of of drama.
Yeah. Are you talking about this past March?
Yeah, well,
We
yeah.
just out in March.
Yeah, that's right.
I was playing with my friend John Paul Maurice. He is a pop singer-songwriter from Victoria, recently with Vancouver. And we met a few years ago, and he asked me to be part of his band for a tour that was March and a bit of April, and we went to Toronto and back for CMW. And then we had a few issues along the way. Our van combusted in Northern Ontario, and so we ended up taking the train from Toronto for the second part of that tour back to the prairies, and then got off and joined another friend's band, and we came back to Vancouver. But our van is gone, and so that tune is just reminiscent of being in different places every night, and I don't know, being with different people and playing different places and waking up in a different bed, and I don't know, having too much fun.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I guess experiencing a lot of good hospitality along the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were kind of joking that tour specifically, because what else happened? I'm trying to remember. Van broke down, and there was a couple of shows that, I don't know, I guess flopped a little bit. It was just there was really, really great shows, but it was kind of like that tour was just as much about our friends covering us more so than, just as much as it was about playing music, friends coming to your rescue. It's good to have friends all along the way.
Well, that's what I've picked up actually listening to your music. You sing about friends and connections to people quite a lot. It seems like a big part of your lyrical output.
Well, I think it's like one of the biggest aspects of my life is relationships, and I guess when you move around a lot, the challenge to sort of maintain those relationships. And I don't know, I see people come and people go, like geographically in and on your life, and it's like, how do you maintain those relationships? Because that's the essence of life, is relations, you know what I mean, to your community and to your neighborhood and to, I don't want to sound hokey, but like nature, your environment, and routine and stuff like that. And I think relationships are a major part of those.
Absolutely, and we both know that too. I know you through our work in the downtown east side at Insight too, and that's the essence of that job. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's take it right back to where it began in Regina. Now, I'm reading out here, quote, Regina, Canada's next music capital.
Yeah.
This is from a CBC news article. Discuss, Jamison.
Well, after moving to BC, you apply for grants. It's really, it's more saturated here than in the prairies. There was cuts to art funding a few years ago, like significant ones. And then I have lots of friends from Regina that have stayed in Regina because there's arts funding in Saskatchewan, and Manitoba even more so. Apparently Manitoba has some of the best arts funding in the country, and so ironically, like all of us, we grew up there and we kind of outgrow that scene, and we're like, let's go west, or you go east to Toronto, Montreal, whatever. But I had a lot of friends that came out to Vancouver, and we all realized we're like, we should go back to Saskatchewan. But so you look at some of the bands that have stayed in Regina and Saskatoon, and they have access to a lot of funding specifically, and I totally get it. There's not a ton of bands, so those same bands are always getting funding.
That's what I noticed, actually. We went to the Railway Club where I saw you on Monday, and that band, who was the Old Folks Home?
Old Folks Home.
Yeah, they seemed like very, very professional-looking band.
Yeah, they were great. I was listening to them in the car on the way here.
Yeah. And I got to think, well, they're probably a band that's probably had plenty of access to funding, and taking advantage of that, which is a good thing.
There's no need to move from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So that much,
Yeah. A couple of the bands, at least in this article, it mentioned a band called the Rah Rahs.
Yeah, Rah Rah. I went to high school with those kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And Library Voices, that's another band.
Yeah.
Regina. So we'll dig up their music we've played as well. But for now, we have the musical gifts of Jamison Troy live in the CiTR studio. Former resident of Regina, where you still got a lot of family.
Yep. I'm headed back there tomorrow. Well, we're going to leave tomorrow and then get there this weekend. Going on a family vacation in Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
Very nice. Good time of year to be on the prairies.
Mm-hmm.
How about we get another song?
Yeah.
And while you're here, what have you got for us next?
I'll play you one. I recorded 4 songs for a record in December, and it's called What I've Done. And so this song is from that collection. Let's say we're going to play a song called I've Hurt People. It's about relationships, hurting people's feelings,
Which is inevitable.
and sort of, I don't know, reconciling those relationships in whatever way that looks like.
I actually did that with my landlord last night. She hurt my feelings.
Always.
She said something that I was really upset about, and I stormed off, went to the cafe, sat on my computer, and then I went back and spoke to her in person, and everything's good.
I'm proud of you, Matt. Those
Thank you.
landlord relationships are some of the most complex ones in this city.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are. So let's hear what Jamison has to say in song form about relationships.
I want to be at peace with what I've done. And I want to be at peace with what I've done. A clear conscience when thinking of where I have been. 'Cause I've done some bad things to good people like you. 'Cause I've hurt people like you. I never mean to. I swear I'm telling the truth. 'Cause I've hurt people like you. And we meet in an alley while I'm too far gone. And I'm not a fighter, but this time it's on. And I speak, but you swing, I duck, and then I run. But you don't scare me, I just know what violence has not ever done. 'Cause I've hurt people like you. I never mean to. I swear I'm telling the truth. 'Cause I've hurt people like you. There are ways to resolve our differences that may include not hurting you. 'Cause all my friends and all their lovers are just looking for some sense of truth. And all my friends and all of their lovers are just looking for some sense of truth. But I've hurt people like you. I never mean to. I swear I'm telling the truth. 'Cause I've hurt people like you.
Hi, everybody. This is Fred Penner on the radio waves, saying a big hello to CiTR 101.9. Listen, sing along.
And that was Jamison Troy, another track live here in the CiTR studios. That is, I've heard people like you. Yeah, which is your latest release. It's available on Bandcamp, and that's the EP What I've Done.
Yeah.
By Jamison Troy, former resident of Regina, Saskatchewan, now currently based in Vancouver. And another lovely song, emotionally rich. I love listening to music because it's not too frantic and fast-paced, and we need more of that now, I think, because the world's out of control. So
You're telling me I almost got hit by a car twice on my way over. I drove my girlfriend's car here. It was insanity. It was like, I forget what it's like to drive in the city. I live in the neighborhood that I work in, so I just walk in on my bike, but like, I traverse the entire city to get here. It was insanity. Everybody's got to slow down a little bit.
Well, exactly, yeah. And I find music helps me to, to slow my life down, and I find and the emotional richness comes out too in your lyrics. And so I recommend folks check out Jamison Troy, especially when he plays live, which he does frequently in the city. Last Monday at the Railway Club. And how about any upcoming shows?
Yeah, here in town, 31st, so in about a month, at the Railway Club with The Magician and the Gates of Love and Hardwater, and then I'm playing Abbotsford at Champion Jacks with Hardwater and Zach Pick and somebody else on the 17th of July, and then there'll be a couple other ones probably in amongst then in the Fraser Valley, and then I have a website, jamisontroy.com, that'll have probably all those dates up in the next couple of days, but those are the next two coming up, I think.
You tend to collaborate a fair bit too with other people in town. Do you have any other ongoing projects or collaborations?
I'm not doing a lot right now. I was playing in a band called Mercy Years for the past few years, and we recently decided to move on to other things. All those guys are doing stuff too, and girls are doing stuff right now too. Penitent Ben is Ben Mott from that band, and then Nick Russell is another guy from that band. I just tracked drums for a record that he just finished. It's getting mixed right now. Doesn't really have a name yet, but he'll put it out in the fall, and it's gonna be great. He's a great songwriter, and he wrote all those tunes, and then he plays in my band as well, like the Jamison Troy band. He's we're actually trying to book a show in Winnipeg right now in a couple weeks. He's spending the summertime in where is he? Ontario, Fort Francis, with his girlfriend out there. So we're gonna team up in Winnipeg and hopefully play a couple shows there. But just writing for a couple projects that haven't really come to light yet. We're just writing songs for different stuff, different people.
And any other names that you could mention that people you're enjoying their music around these parts? Yeah,
absolutely. Canadian, like in Canada, my friend Jordan Kurtz has a band called Fisticuffs from Saskatoon. He was on that tour in March with JP and I as well. We were a three-piece band, and he played drums. And then I supported a bunch of shows, as did he. So Fisticuffs is really cool. It's kind of, what do we jokingly call it? Dream folk. Is that what we're calling it? Dream folk? Or there's another one. It's just kind of like mellow pop rock song sort of thing. Dream folk. Let's go with that. From Saskatoon, and then another friend named Zachary Lucky from Saskatoon just plays straight up folk music in the realm of Townes Van Zandt, Bob Dylan, stuff like that.
Is that the CD you gave me the other night?
Yeah. I don't know why I gave it to you. I think because I took a break at work and I was like, I'm going to see my friend play at China Cloud.
Yeah,
I bought you the CD and I was like, this one.
It was late at that. You were dropping me. Someone was dropping me home and you had it. And yeah. It was
I was dropping you off at home.
So yeah. It's funny when it's at 4 a.m. after night shift. Yeah. Sometimes you forget what's going on. But I have that to play for folks too. So.
Yeah, no, Zachary's great. He tours like 10 months out of the year, I swear. Who else? There's a band, I don't really know them personally, but another band from Saskatoon called Castle River that I think is super cool. They're going to blow up soon. They're a two-piece sort of like proggy rock thing. I saw them play a few weeks ago. And then just old friends. My friend Jordan Clausen is just got signed to Nevada Records and he's doing really well. Yeah, JP Maurice.
Who you toured with last.
Yeah, did that in March with him. He's like great songwriter. Writes great pop songs. Super nice guy.
Yeah, I learned a lot about Canadian music just through chatting with you.
Yeah.
So this is really great for the show and for any Australian listeners out there. Just in the last 2 minutes got a mixed bag of great original music, and we'll feature some of those acts on the show, if not today, in other shows. But yourself, I think we have time maybe for one more song. Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Which one should we do?
And while you're picking, I just wanted to mention too a couple of your latest film clips that I guess folks can find on your website. One where on the way back from the eastern part of the country, you went through an abandoned mill or something?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was in the interior, like between Vernon and Golden. I don't actually remember where it was, but another good actually BC band, Broken Down Suitcase. They're like alt country sort of stuff. It's just two guys, and they're really, really great. But Ben from that band, he's from Golden, so we were driving with him, and I was like, I want to see a really good waterfall. He's like, I'll take you to waterfall. So literally just pull off the road a couple hours later, and we like walked this little trail and opened up this like 300-foot waterfall. It was insanity. So we hung out at this waterfall, took some photos, and then an hour later pulls up again. He's like, let me show you guys a sawmill. And there was this like sawmill that it looked like everybody had walked away from like 2 decades ago. It was like still there, equipment was still there, and the walls had sort of fallen apart and stuff. So we stopped, and it sounded really cool in this big concrete and metal room. So we Ben has a nice camera, so we filmed a couple live songs. And so there's one on he does these sessions called Moon Mountain Sessions, I believe, and so they're up on his YouTube and website, and you can find the links to that through my website, which is jamisontroy.com. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's really unique
up there.
Unique film clip. Yeah. And your latest one too is a cup of coffee.
Yeah, my friend Joe Schweers has a production company called Amazing Factory. Him and his cousin Josh. And they do all sorts of crazy videos. You should check out the Amazing Factory. And he texted me one morning. He's like, "Hey, I was just filming a cup of coffee that was steaming on the table, and it looked really pretty. I'm gonna film it again sometime, and I'm gonna put some music to it." So his partner Alyssa, who's an incredible photographer, they both like this like art power couple. She's sort of like they made coffee and staged just like this like steaming cup of coffee on a table, and filmed it. And we call it it's like the East Van Yule log is what we joke is what it is. It's just this cup of coffee. It looks gorgeous, and so he threw one of my songs on there, and you just stare at a cup of coffee and listen to a song for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a nice relaxation to zone out.
That's right.
Drink
Very
coffee
meditative.
and watch coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're talking with Jamison Troy here live in the studio, and we have time for one more track before Jamison has to hit that traffic out there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take it away.
Cool. This is I should maybe play songs that I've recorded and they're coming out of records, but instead I'll play ones that are newer than that. Yeah, let's do this one. This is a love song. It is what's it gonna be called? I don't think it really has a name yet either. Where You Go. That's what I called it. It's called Where You Go.
our songs, but we're asleep before there dawns first light. 'Cause every day you seem further away. My tired eyes doze at the thought of summer days, the evening haze in living rooms full of friends. But I don't know, can you take me where you go? 'Cause every day you seem further away. My tired eyes doze at the thought of summer days, the evening haze in living rooms full of friends. But I don't know, will you take me where you go? Where you go?
Thank you, Jamison Troy. One last song there here in the CiTR studios. This is Stranded, the Australian-Canadian music show. And it's always wonderful to have live music.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This is really great.
Oh, anytime. Again, you can catch Jamison Troy live around the city of Vancouver. Dates are on his website.
Yeah.
And again, the next Railway Club date is...
It looks like July 31st, like in about a month or so.
In about a month. We'll remind everyone again. And What I've Done is the latest EP from Jamison Troy, available online. And thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
No worries.
See y'all soon.